This is the Season Long Podcast in support of the YouTube channel SeasonLongBaller. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your week and happy holidays to you and yours. We'll take an exclusive look at the NBA Cup here on Season Long Podcast number 71. And as you can see, the brackets here as we have moved to the quarterfinal rounds. Actually, we have the final coming up tomorrow, Wizards-Warriors. And I have to admit, I am surprised that the Warriors beat Minnesota. And we will talk about that game in just a bit. But let's see how the Wizards got to this point. As you see, Boston was the 4 seed in the East group, with Washington winning Group C, Charlotte won Group B, and Indiana won Group A. So the best record from the team that did not win a group was Boston. And I definitely did not want to play Boston again. But we did manage to blow Boston out. Indiana defeated Charlotte, and you had Washington against Indiana. Now, taking a look at what we've got coming up, you see we have the NBA Cup coming up tomorrow, and then on Thursday, we'll take on the Charlotte Hornets, our first look at the Hornets, who lost to the Pacers. Otherwise, we would have seen them in Vegas. And then we've got the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday in Milwaukee. It'll be our second meeting with the Bucks and the second in Milwaukee. So we talked about we blew out the Celtics just a moment ago, and as you can see, we did a 31-point victory over the Celtics, defeating them 93-62 in our third meeting of the season with Boston. All 3 matchups already have been in Washington. Boston was in our group, so we did play them in the group round. Boston had the best record of the teams that did not win a group, so we faced them in the quarterfinals, and we played them opening night, and they defeated us also in Washington on opening night 64-60. So as you can see in this game, Boston struggled from the field, shot 32% from the field, only 27% on 3-pointers, and that wasn't going to get it done when we were shooting a shade over 50% and almost 50% from 3-pointers ourselves. So a 93-62 victory there. Summerz leading the way with 20 points, went 8 out of 20 from the field, 1 out of 7 from 3. So if you look at what happened here, where we were 10 out of 21 from the field, then we basically went, players that were not named Jaymont Summerz basically went 9 out of 14 from 3. So shooting a much higher percentage from 3 if you weren't our player, Bill. Kyle Kuzma went 4 for 4 from 3. Corey Kispert went 3 for 3. Poole was only 2 out of 5. And as you can see, no one else hit any threes there. But again, a monstrous victory for the Wizards, including holding the Celtics to single digits in the third quarter there. As you can see, a 16-9 advantage there for the Wizards. And Summerz finished 8 out of 20, but most of the team did finish shooting 50% or better. For the Celtics, we were talking about struggle from the field. That was probably personified best by Jaylen Brown, who was 5 out of 15 from the field, 3 out of 6 from deep, however. Jason Tatum, 9 out of 24, 2 out of 6 from deep. And Kristaps Porzingis, former Wizard, former Maverick, former Knick, 2 out of 9 from the field and 0 out of 5 from deep. Now, moving to the semifinal round, we took on the Pacers, who defeated us back in November, late November, by 14 points, 69. I think that was a 69-55 score in favor of the Pacers. But in this case, we reversed our fortunes. An 11-point victory, 82-71, shot 57% from the field, so even better than we did against the Celtics. The Pacers only shot 42% from the field. 3-pointers, again, hot from distance, 9 out of 13, while the Pacers were only 11 out of 29 for an 82-71 victory for the Wizards. Now, led by our player, Bill, Jaymont Summerz, 34 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double to go along with 6 assists. Only had 1 turnover. You know, I've been trying to get those turnovers down, trying to stay under 2 turnovers a game. And I think right now I'm averaging about 2.2. So we still have a lot of work to do there, and we are leading the league in turnovers, a dubious stat to be leading the league in, but there we are. So I'm going to try to get that under 2 and then try not to lead the league in turnovers. 13 out of 22 from the field, 3 out of 5 from deep. So I didn't shoot a lot of threes. As you know, I will shoot a lot of threes at times, but this time stayed over 50%, went 3 out of 5, hit all of my free throws, and had a 34-point effort. And Corey Kispert was 2 out of 2 from deep, 5 out of 5 from the field, and had 12 points. Now for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton had 19 points, 7 out of 19 from the field, but a big difference here, 3 out of 10 from deep and a lot of those threes were good looks. So I'm very surprised that he missed a good amount of those threes. If some more of those threes go in, I'm not sure we win this game. Siakam had a pretty good first half. He scored 13 overall, 5 out of 11 from the field. Nesmith also was 5 out of 11 from the field, and Siakam went 3 out of 5 from deep, and the Wizards get the 82-71 victory. Now, here's the game that really surprised me. The Timberwolves were the 1 seed out west, and Golden State defeated them. They were the 2 seed out west in the NBA Cup play. But this had to be a pretty hard game to watch. Both teams shooting 36% from the field. The Warriors get the victory, 35-32. And we only play 6-minute quarters, so that's why you see that these numbers are lower. But despite that, this is a really low amount even for our 6-minute quarters. And you can see the Timberwolves didn't score double digits in any of the quarters, while the Warriors scored double digits in the second half. That's basically the difference in the game. The Warriors were only 2 out of 15 from deep. Timberwolves were a slight bit better, but weren't lighting it up themselves, going 4 out of 12. But 2 out of 15, as you see, only 13%. The Warriors couldn't even hit free throws, 1 out of 5. And the Timberwolves went 2 out of 2. But again, that must have been a struggle. Both teams had 20 defensive rebounds, but the big difference in this one, the Warriors were 11-3 on the offensive glass, and that's probably the biggest difference in this game. And the Warriors get a 35-32 victory. That had to be ugly. So we will be facing the Warriors when we go to the NBA, have our NBA Cup final in Vegas tomorrow. Now, as you see, Naz Reid led the way with 9 points. It was 4 out of 5 for the Timberwolves, but Anthony Edwards was only 3 out of 7. Julius Randle, 2 out of 9. DiVincenzo, 1 out of 3. So nobody really lit it up for the Timberwolves, but nobody was lighting it up for the Warriors either. As you see, again, look at all those single digits. Podziemski led the Warriors with 7 points, 3 out of 5. Steph Curry was 2 out of 8. Buddy Hield, 1 out of 8. Draymond Green, 1 out of 4. Jonathan Kuminga, at least he was 3 out of 6. He didn't hit a 3, but he's had 6 points at least. But what a weird looking box score, even though we do play 6-minute quarters. So that sets it up for your NBA Cup final tomorrow. Hope you join us for that one, as we will be taking on the Golden State Warriors. That's going to do it for this NBA Cup, short NBA Cup season-long podcast number 71. Again, happy holidays to you and yours. If you like what we do on the channel, and we do have a bunch of the playlists as we've been doing this, it's the ultimate career mode. As we have been doing this for our 3rd season now with our player build, Jaymont Summerz, 6'5" point guard out of William & Mary. And, of course, we put him on the Washington Wizards. And so we've done this on NBA 2K23, on NBA 2K24, and now on NBA 2K25. If you're wondering how we did in the in-season tournament, as they called it last season, did not do it last season. Made a mistake when I was setting up the league. Made a mistake. Didn't put the in-season tournament in, so we did not play the in-season tournament last season. But we are playing it this season, as it's now known as the NBA Cup. So again, hope you will join us for the NBA Cup tomorrow, the final against Golden State. That's going to do it for yours truly, Season Long Baller. Much love. Peace.